All right, everybody, good afternoon. It is Friday, and we are one day away from an interesting test for the Washington Huskies football squad. They are back to 500. They are back to 2-2. The season is no longer a complete wreck the way it was looking after the second game of the season, or even really the first game of the season. And it seems like the team at least has a fighting chance to salvage a winning record, a bowl game, something that isn't a complete program wrecking embarrassment. But this week the challenge gets tougher. We are playing a pretty good team this week in the Oregon State Beavers, and we're going into hostile territory to try to prove that this Washington team might at least be above average. And last week we had that game in against California. They won, but they didn't prove that much to me. I was not impressed with the way that game went, really. California is a lackluster team. That's a game you should have been able to win relatively easily. Instead, it basically comes down to the 1 yard line in overtime and a couple yards on that field goal attempt. Just not really a game that left the impression that I wanted. I wanted this Washington team to prove to me that they had turned the corner after the embarrassing start to the season. But I still don't know. I still don't totally know what kind of season this is going to be. Can we salvage a winning record? Can we salvage something? If we can beat Oregon State, they're going to prove something to me. Because Oregon State, they've had a pretty good start to the year. They lost to Purdue, and Purdue's pretty good. And they've gone on a 3-game winning streak since, including going into USC, into the Coliseum, and taking care of business. And USC is probably not very good this year. They fired their coach. They might just be a bad team this year. They might be having a bad season. But that win still meant something for Oregon State. And they're feeling really good about themselves. They're probably feeling better about themselves than we are by a long shot. So this is a bigger challenge than last week. It's like we're moving on up. We're moving up in challenges. The Arkansas State game was basically free. The California game should have been a relatively resounding win, and it wasn't, but you get the win. Now you're playing a team that's actually favored. Oregon State's favored by like 1.5 or 2 points or something like that. So you've got a genuine challenge just to win. So the thing I'm seeing with Oregon State through 4 games, they have a great rushing attack. They are averaging like 225 yards on the ground a game. And it's powering their offense that is averaging over 38 points a game. You take a look at their passing attack, it's very weak, it's efficient, it's fine, it's effective for what it is, but it is a team powered by their rushing attack. And Washington, over the past several years, has prided themselves on being able to stop the run, but last year and this year, it hasn't been that good. And I understand that in a lot of games against the best competition, your success or failure is ultimately determined by your ability to stop the pass. But this is definitely the kind of game where if you cannot stop the run, Oregon State might just run the ball on almost all their plays and never really put themselves in a bad spot because they're just grinding out 5 to 6 yards a carry. So the big test for me, the big concern that I have is this run defense against Oregon State's run game. They have multiple running backs who are getting it done at a high level. And if we can't stop the run, it's going to be a long day because that's what they do. So I'm mainly looking at that. Can this run defense start to trend in the right direction? I haven't been that impressed this year at all, really. And that's my main focus. I think this offense is going to be okay. I'm not crazy about it. Obviously, we just have an okay quarterback. Jalen McMillan makes the receivers passable, and the offensive line's playing a little bit better the last couple of games, but I think the offense will be okay. Oregon State's defense doesn't look great or anything like that. You should be able to put up some points. And I am expecting, I'd say, at least 24 to 27 points. Will that be enough? Probably not. So you're going to need to take it up a notch from there, or you're going to need the defense to score some points, or you're going to need the defense to really just play their best game of the season. And that's really what I'm looking for. We have a defensive first head coach. We know his shortcomings as a head coach already. He's not very good. Jimmy Lake is not a very good head coach. But he should be able to start turning around this defense a little bit and get them playing at a good level. Because that's how he got this job in the first place. And with where this offense is, I think they're going to be good tomorrow, but I don't think they're going to be great. I don't think they have greatness in them against a real team. So you need your defense to really just bring it. So that's what I see from this game. If you can stop Oregon State's run game, force Nolan to try to beat you, maybe you can make some plays. Maybe you can take the ball away a couple times. And from there, I think you can take care of the game. I will be streaming this game tomorrow, almost certainly. It starts at 6, so tune on in. We will be doing the October hat giveaway during the stream tomorrow for the game. So you're going to have about 3 hours, maybe 3.5 hours to enter the hat giveaway if you want to be a part of that. Even if you don't, you can come by and we'll do play-by-play and we'll talk about the game. We'll talk about the team. We'll talk about what's going on with this program. And hopefully we can see the Huskies take care of business, because if you win your third game in a row, you go to 3-2, you beat a decent team in Oregon State, that'll kind of, I mean, it doesn't erase what happened to start the season, obviously, because that was just atrocious, and it wiped out what could have been a fairly promising season for Washington, because if you win that game, you're 3-1, you have one loss to a Michigan team that is ranked in the top 15, it's fine. But you can start to say this team has put that in the rearview mirror and is playing real football now. But I don't have a lot of confidence going into this one. I will admit that. I'm going to say it right here, right now. I don't have a ton of confidence in this team. I think that the offense is not going to be able to drop 35 plus to keep up with Oregon State if you let Oregon State do what they've done in their first 4 games. And I'm just counting on the defense to play better than they played through the first 4 games. And Oregon State is a team that can never put themselves in bad situations by just running the ball at a high clip, and they don't have to throw any risky passes. They don't put themselves behind the chains. I can see this game kind of playing out in my head in that way. But I do believe that this Washington team is playing better, at least. They're going to have a chance. They're going to give themselves a chance to win tomorrow. I believe that they've at least come that far. But can they win? I mean, obviously they can win. This is a winnable game. I'm just not feeling amazing about where this team is right now in their run defense and their ability to counter what Oregon State does well. All right, guys. So see you in the stream tomorrow. There's going to be another video later today, a Seahawks video, so keep an eye out for that. But bow down to Washington. Let's get these Beavers, get a winning record, and try to salvage this season. See you guys later.